In today's video, we're talking about the North Valley Justice Court. The North Valley Justice Court is a misdemeanor court in Maricopa County, Arizona. It is quite busy. We see a lot of people charged with criminal violations out of this particular court. And so we're making this video to explain a little bit more about it, how it works, who the prosecutors are, what jurisdiction this court covers, and then we'll explain a little bit about the judge so that if you've been charged with a crime here, you know a little bit more about it. So let's take a quick look at the court's jurisdiction. This is a jurisdiction that is in basically the North Valley of Maricopa County. It looks like this. It is a little bit jagged. You can see it's not square. It has some juts in and out, and it covers a couple major freeways. It covers the I-17. There's a stretch right there in the middle in pink that you can see where it covers both sides. But on the north and the south end of that, you'll see that it covers only certain portions of it. So going north, the northbound portion of the I-17 is within this court's jurisdiction. Going south, the southbound portion of the I-17 is within the court's jurisdiction. Also covers a part of the 101 and a part of the 303. There's a weird little jut out there where you can see I have it circled, where if you're pulled over there, you may not be in the court's jurisdiction. You may be outside of the court's jurisdiction, in the Desert Ridge jurisdiction. The reason why this is so important is because if the allegation against you did not happen within this court's jurisdiction, but the ticket or the DUI charge or whatever happened was filed within this court's jurisdiction, but it actually happened geographically outside, your case may be able to be dismissed on a technicality. That's why these are important. The court can't hear a case that didn't happen within the court's jurisdiction. That's the long and short of it. So that's how it works. You can see here the jurisdictional issue can be a little bit more complicated because it's not a square. There can be questions on where something actually happened, where the crime occurred. So certainly take a look at this if you're on one of these boundaries or anywhere close to one of those. Now, if you're going to be cited into this court, it's going to be done typically by a Maricopa County Sheriff's Officer or by a Department of Public Safety officer. If you're cited by a city cop, they'll send you into a city court. So these are governed and patrolled by DPS or MCSO. The major crimes that we see out of this court are the traffic-related offenses predominantly. Criminal speeding, reckless driving, suspended license stuff, and then you have the DUIs for people traveling northbound, southbound on the I-17 or the 101. And then we'll also see other traffic violations, civil tickets, commercial trucking violations, and those types of things. Those are predominantly what we see. Now, the prosecutors that are in charge of prosecuting cases out of this court are going to be the Maricopa County Attorney's Office. This is a big agency. They cover all of Maricopa County. They cover all the different justice courts and the superior courts. And so in our experience, they're very, very policy-based, meaning they don't have a lot of discretion. They don't have a lot of authority to make changes to a case or give you a better deal. Basically what they do is they look at a chart. They say, you've been charged with this. This is the penalty. This is our policy. Here you go. You fall within this range. And they don't have a lot of discretion to make a change or to give you a better deal. So some people will think they can go in and just talk to the prosecutor and explain themselves, and then suddenly they're going to get a better deal. It doesn't work like that. They're going to be following policy, and what they're going to do is just say, this is what our policy is, and you got to abide by that. Otherwise, you're on your own. Good luck. Take it to trial. That's how the Maricopa County Attorney's Office works in our experience. The judge out of this court, his name is Gerald Williams. Judge Williams is somebody who's been around a long time. He has been elected Justice of the Peace in 2004. He is a licensed attorney in Arizona, which is not always the case. In fact, most often is not the case for justice court judges. Most of them are not licensed lawyers. They just go ahead and run, get elected, and now they're judges. Not the case with Judge Williams. Judge Williams was actually admitted to the bar in 1989, so he's been practicing for a very long time, and as I said, got elected to the Justice of the Peace position out of North Valley in 2004. He's also somebody who was a lawyer in the Air Force, a JAG, a judicial advocate, and he was named Justice of the Peace Judge of the Year in 2014. So he's been highly recognized, somebody who's been doing it for quite a long time relative to some other justices, and somebody who has a lot of legal experience. So he's also somebody who, because of that, has a little bit of a tough-on crime persona in the courtroom. So if you go into court and he has sort of that kind of tough on crime attitude, you may be put back a little bit. You may be kind of kicked down your heels a little bit and say, oh, I'm in big trouble because I'm in front of this judge. In our experience, that's not really the case. He may have that sort of persona about him, but he's still somebody who is very, very reasonable. He'll listen to your arguments. He'll listen to your particular situation. Somebody who's very thoughtful. He's very receptive to well-reasoned arguments. As I said, he's got a lot of legal experience, so he's going to be familiar with many of these issues. He's had much more formal training than a lot of other justices of the peace. So that can play to your benefit, especially if you do have good legal arguments and you can make a persuasive case. You don't want to be unprepared in this judge's courtroom. In other words, you want to make sure that you're going in, you know what you're going to say, you have a good structure to your argument, and you present it clearly and effectively. Otherwise, he may just not be as receptive to it. Now, it's also important to know that this judge recognizes that some laws are just kind of overly harsh. So there are certain laws in Arizona, like driving on a suspended license, which is a Class 1 misdemeanor, which is the same class as a DUI, where it could be something just totally a clerical error. You got a photo radar ticket you didn't pay, now your driver's license is suspended, now you get charged with DOSL. It's a Class 1 misdemeanor, it's a big deal. In our experience, this judge sort of will recognize that and say, that's just, it's way too harsh to be penalizing somebody with a Class 1 misdemeanor for something that really was minor, was really paperwork. So that can often play in a defendant's favor. If you've been charged with one of those crimes, you may have a shot at having a better outcome that you may not get in other courts. So we want to encourage you to be prepared in this court. We want to make sure that you're not going in there and treating the court with poor decorum, or you're being sort of haphazard in your arguments. You want to be very focused, make sure you're doing your research, make sure you're well prepared, and we think you'll have a good experience out of this judge. He's also open to hearing things about mitigation. He wants to hear a little bit more about what happened in the particular case, what happened, what else is going on in your life aside from the original charge. So as I said, be prepared, be focused, and you should have a good experience out of the North Valley Justice Court. If you or a loved one has been charged with a crime out of the North Valley Justice Court, in my office, we have several attorneys here who appear in this court very regularly. Our office in general appears all over Arizona, and so we're in North Valley or in this court that has a lot of other courts in the same building very frequently. So if you've been charged and you want to speak with us, we offer free case evaluations. We'll sit down with you, we'll review the facts of your case, make sure you understand how things will work for you in this court, and most importantly, make sure you have a plan to move forward. So as I said, free case evaluations. Give our office a call. We'll get you scheduled right away. We look forward to speaking with you soon. Thanks for watching.